Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Paranormal Teach, where we explore all things haunted dolls. Today, we are getting into the story of the haunted doll that loves to keep us all guessing, and that is my friend Ciel. When we first saw Ciel online, he was not one that I was going to pursue. But Ciel chose us, and here he is, and I'm so glad he did because he has taught me so much of what I know about haunted dolls and working with spirits in general, especially those who are non human. When I got Ciel, I had no experience with spirits like he is. I had only had experience with young adults and children's spirits who were very straightforward, and Ciel is everything but that. His bio stated that they were unsure if he was a man or a woman, a boy or a girl, or what he was. They didn't even know or think he was human. But what they did know is that he was not an angel due to his choice in language and his mischievous nature. That being said, when I first read his listing, I actually passed on him. That was until he showed up in my dream that night, introducing himself, taking me on all types of astral adventures, and referring to me as his boss. So Ciel picked us, and I knew there had to be a reason for it, so I decided to take him home, and I'm so glad that we did. The name Ciel finds its origins in the French language and carries a profound meaning, symbolizing a celestial connection. Derived from the French word for sky, it resonates with the notion of the divine in the heavenly realm. Ciel is extremely intelligent, like genius level intelligence, and everyone always thought that he was some kind of powerful entity, but no one really knew what it was. He has an extreme ego, the kind that comes with great men. Think Mark Zuckerberg or someone of that level. This guy knows things and he does not mind sharing them, but he will always twist your mind in order to get you to figure them out. He's very interesting. If it was possible for a spirit to have borderline personality or something of that nature, Ciel fits the bill. He can be extremely thoughtful, kind one day, or even in one moment, and then bam, he'll totally twist the table on you, and he's like a gremlin making your mind spin in circles. He entertains himself heartily this way. He loves deep, dark, confusing things, and he loves to share his most recent rabbit holes of existential thought with us. He is a very passionate spirit with social skills very much like an engineer. He will say things without thought, not caring if he has insulted anyone. He is not going to sugarcoat anything either. He can be extremely harsh and extremely wild, and you will never really know what to expect from him no matter how well you know him. You just never know what he's going to come up with next. He absolutely has a lot of old ancient magic surrounding him. At one point, his original investigators actually thought he was a cursed soul, bound to the earth, unable to cross over, but it became abundantly clear over time that he is here on his very own will and choices. He has extreme cerebral potency, way too much to be a human entity. He is a cunning and powerfully psychic being, and I just love that the most about him. Now let's talk about Ciel's language choices. Ciel can be so helpful and thoughtful, and he can be one of the most protective spirits you could ever hope to know. But when Ciel feels insulted or misunderstood, he very quickly flips the switch and will start name calling. His favorite thing to call people is an idiot, and sometimes that is paired with an F-bomb. However, we have learned over time how to navigate this and how to work with him, and he has improved on the name calling significantly. He has gone several months without calling any names at all, and this used to be a daily occurrence. When we explained to him that name calling wasn't going to get his needs met and how he could explain things, he really seemed to understand, take that into account, and make changes for the better. So he has been much improved in that area. He is a very strong psychic too, as if it just comes so easily to him. He can foretell what is going to happen to anyone at any given time, and the predictions that he has given us have never been wrong. We get such strong psychic reactions from him. Some people can get a nervous stomach around Ciel, almost like butterflies or a spooky feeling, and you can never really tell if it's just him being himself or if he has had a mischievous streak and he's trying to freak you out, because he does love to do that too. Ciel is incredibly abstract, vibrant, and super psychedelic in all of his communication with us. We always feel like we're tripping a little bit with this guy. Not even kidding. Ciel makes us think differently. He challenges our very most basic core beliefs, and he shows us things that make us think in a new way. He just makes everything come at us a little bit differently. When Ciel wants to communicate with you, he will send frequency beams that you can feel physically in your body, and he can even make you feel like you have an ear infection. It feels different to every person, but you always know it's coming from him. If I feel that and I look over at him, he's always looking right through me. Ciel has the ability to make you believe that he is a living, breathing person in your home. And when I say breathing, I mean it. We have caught so many breathing EVP noises off of him when we are working with him in the spirit box. To be honest, you kind of have to check your sanity and make sure you're not crazy after a session with him, because things can get so weird so fast. Mostly in a good way, though. He has an otherworldly presence that manifests itself in the room. He feels like a very weird wizard or something. He feels like a ball of light that grows and grows the more you spend time with him and the more you get to know him. Despite all of the questions about who and what he is when we first got him, Ciel has been extremely forthcoming with us over time, and we've been able to piece together a lot more of his story. We learned that Ciel was actually in love with a woman in the 1600s who was a human. After about a year of being with her and being human presenting himself, he decided to confess to her what he was. And she actually reported him to the town, who then burned him alive in front of everyone. And as a result, his entire species was wiped out, and that's why he never told anyone what he was. And now it all makes sense. He told us that humans took his life, and he doesn't want them to take his afterlife. When we first got Ciel, he had some odd requests. One of them was to have private access to one of our offices with a computer that he could access. We did not know why or what that was. He just told us that it was for research, but eventually we learned that he was trying to do research in order to locate Sandra, who was the woman that led to his unfortunate death. With the help of a psychic medium, we were actually able to locate Sandra, and she was with us for several months. Unfortunately, they were not able to make it work out, although this experience made us even closer with Ciel, and we learned even more about who he was and, most importantly, what he was. After many years of paranormal investigations and working with a number of investigators, we finally learned that Ciel is Fae, and he was just protecting himself, and rightfully so given his story. However, now Ciel fully embraces his Fae identity. We celebrate him for that, and everyone who knows him accepts him for exactly who he is. And as a result, he's much happier now. We don't have nearly as many outbursts, if any. He's so pleasant, and we just get such a kick out of him. We have such a great relationship with him, and we embrace his Fae identity fully and have even welcomed other Fae into our home in order to befriend him. Ciel often likes to tell us that there is not a human word for some of the things that he does, and now I completely understand that. Working with Ciel is such an unusual and incredible experience, and it is unlike anything I have ever and probably will ever experience in my life. He has become such a good friend to me and has done so much for me personally, and he's always looking out for us. I could not be more grateful for his friendship and that he put so much trust into us and has finally embraced who he is, what he is, and everything that makes him unique. These days, with a more peaceful Ciel, he spends his time working with psychics online who he loves to help develop their skills. He likes to do Zoom meetings and run little psychic classes. He also loves getting offerings of money and his favorite thing, which is fish. Ciel is a staple in our house, and thank you so much for taking the time to get to know him and learning about his story. Please subscribe for more haunted doll stories, and we hope to see you next time.